Welcome to Norsin Around, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network. As always, I'm your host, James Ernest, along with my co-host, Alex Gray. Alex, what have the Norse been up to this week?
Well, the Norse men's team came off of an 82-74 loss. However, Drew McDonald and Lavone, Holland II both recorded 20 points apiece, so that's really good for those two. McDonald turned in his third double-double in the last 4 games, and he's posted his 4th straight game with 20 or more points. Holland reached the 20-point mark. He had 6 for 12 showing from the field, including a 3 for 7 performance from behind the arc. And then freshman Blake Spellman dished out a career high and team best 5 assists in 19 minutes of action. Got that from the NKU website.
Okay, so there might not have been the win that we want, but there were some positive things that the team can build on. Okay, that sounds good. And
yeah, you always want to look for the positive things, and that's certainly one. So that's very good for those guys to really make a big impact.
Have you done any research on North Carolina Central, or have they had a good season so far? I think I remember you saying something last week that they had played some of the better teams, and they played them close, actually.
Yeah, the Eagles, North Carolina Central improves to 3-2 with their win. And I'm not sure who they play next, but I know the NKU men's team will be playing Wednesday night at Morehead. So,
okay,
right down the road.
So that should be a nice winnable game there. Don't want to assume anything, but, we should have a chance. How was the shooting for Northern in the North Carolina game?
Well, the shooting looked pretty good. Like I said, McDonald and Holland really stepped it up with 20 apiece. I thought, they really did well. And field goal percentage at NKU had 4.413. Let's see, free throws, 0.476. 3-pointers, 0.375. That's the team statistics.
Okay, so it sounds like they had a good game. It just sounds like they were played. It wasn't I've noticed with the women's team, unfortunately, they seem to be bit by the turnover bug quite often. But it doesn't look like the men have that issue. Only 8 turnovers, so not too bad. And, a little limited in the assists with only 14. But, it sounds like should be, some good signs for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So are you, is the band going down to the Morehead game, or do they not travel? How's that work?
I don't know, honestly. It is tempting to go down there. Depends if I'm working on Wednesday or not, so we'll see.
Sounds good. Look forward to hearing more about that next week.
Yep.
And then we'll cover the women's, and what have they been up to?
Let's see here. Mikayla Terry led the team with 23 points in a win over Eastern Tennessee. It was 62-56 win. NKU improves 2-3, and Eastern Tennessee with 2-3. And like I said, Mikayla Terry, career high 23 points. Perfect 4 for 4 from the 3-point range. It also says here it marked the first time that she scored more than 10 points in a game, let alone 20.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the team doesn't have anybody averaging over 10 so far this year. So it's good to see a nice point explosion from her.
Mm-hmm. Kasey Uetrecht also had 15 points with 3 assists, so that's good. Okay,
so the scoring's up, so that's a nice sign. And the turnovers were actually down, which is, oh my gosh, the amount in the previous game against Ohio, the Bobcats, 28 down to 16. So shedding a dozen turnovers definitely will improve your chances of winning.
Yeah, it says here they had 16 turnovers and Eastern Tennessee had 12.
Oh, wow. So do you know who their opponent is on Wednesday? Because I forget, and I'm even going to the dang game. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Yes, they are going to be playing Stetson University from the Atlantic Sun, and that is at 11:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually have a class during that time, but it's tempting to sneak out afterwards.
I know what you mean. Well, if you do, I look forward to seeing you there because I definitely will be at that one. I'm a big fan, big advocate of how they're doing it. They're having local not high school, because high school will be against the rules. Middle school and elementary school students attend the game. I spoke to, I want to say his name is Brad Pope. No relation to the real Pope, but, Brad Pope. And nice fella and all. And he said they're projecting 3,000 to 4,000 students at the game. Obviously not Northern students, but, like local high school or elementary and middle. So, gosh, that could be one heck of an atmosphere. And just a nice way to get those kids onto the college campus. So I'm looking forward to that. How that goes.
Really expose the Norse programs out to the rest of the community, and I hope some students who don't have any classes going on maybe decide they want to go catch a game earlier in the day. It won't hurt.
That would be great. Yes, hopefully that'll happen. But if it doesn't, we just that's what they got to do is keep trying new things and just being innovative. So I'm really glad to see them doing that. So, do we know anything about Stetson? I know Northern obviously was in the Atlantic, was it 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, up until last season they were in the Atlantic Sun when they first joined.
Okay. So then when they were first D1, they started in the Atlantic. So Northern had some experience with them the first 3 seasons. So sounds good. Maybe rekindle an old rivalry, maybe one of the seniors, against one of their old seniors, that kind of thing they had played before. So that'd be nice. Looking forward to that. Yeah. So, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to cover this week, but, we are glad that you did tune in, fans, to our show. Anything in particular that you'd like to cover out?
About Stetson's women's team, they're actually 6-1 right now. They beat Valparaiso, a fellow
Horizon League, yeah.
Yeah, so they lost to Arkansas 79-62. That was their only loss. They beat Bethune-Cookman, if I said that right, Eastern Illinois. They beat Robert Morris and Weber State in overtime. And they also play SIU Edwardsville eventually later this season.
Okay, so they've got a pretty good resume going.
Yeah, definitely.
Planning to be in the big dance. Well, sounds good. I look forward to later in the season when Northerns will have some more games because it is frustrating. Other than the tournament last week or the week before, where they actually had a nice stretch of 3 games in a row, we want more. What do you think, Alex? Do you think we need some more NKU content? Don't you agree?
Yeah, I'd love that. Let me take a look at Morehead men's real quick for their next match with the men's. They're currently 2-3. They have a win over, they have exhibition win over Cincinnati Christian and Kentucky Christian. They beat Liscombe. They lost to Marshall and Evansville and Pittsburgh.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, Marshall and Pittsburgh, many Christians and AIA schools, so, I kind of get those. So,
yeah, they got Mississippi State and Purdue on their schedule, too, so those will be some tough matches for them.
SEC, Big Ten, that could be a tough road to hoe. But, that's what they got to keep doing is, keep building better schedules, better strength, so when down the road, maybe get an outright bid into the tournament, not have to worry about winning the whole dang the conference.
Yeah, it would be cool if our teams could play more bigger opponents like that. It just helps the team out. It helps them.
It gets the word out there. It increases recruiting, increases attendance, all kinds of nice things that just build on each other. So I see what you're saying there.
And this Saturday, the NKU men's team will be at Norfolk State, so that's another big one. Norfolk State's generally pretty good.
Yeah, I think they were in the top 3 or 4 prediction for their conference. Sounds good. Well, once again, just thanking the fans for tuning in to another episode of Norsin Around. Hopefully, we'll be having some more interviews over the next couple weeks with either current or former Northern Kentucky athletes. So if you are a former Northern Kentucky athlete, feel free to get in touch with us at wherelegendspeak.com. Wherelegendspeak@gmail.com. And we would love to have you on our show. Or if you know somebody that was a former NKU basketball player or soccer player, pass on our information, pass on the show, because we would love to find out what they've been getting into. How about you, Alex? Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, I agree. And I don't really have anything else on the matter.
Okay. Thank you, sir.